Not sure what the rules are for welcome in everyone. Sorry, we just had to change over to StreamYard. But hopefully you find you guys way in soon. I'll just wait till everyone gets in. Sorry about that, everyone. If you're making your way in. But yeah, we'll be here for a good amount of time. They say. And I know yeah, we're back. Okay. Hopefully this is better. I tried to go through YouTube Live Studio, but it's having some issues. The internet isn't the greatest in the spot that I'm in the house, so but we'll get into it as we will. Firstly, welcome in all of our members. Great to have you guys in here. I'm grateful to be back, and a lot to discuss tonight, man. A lot to discuss, and I'm really keen to hear what you guys have to say. Inspector, great to see you, my friend. Hope you've been well. Jazz, my brother, far out. So good to hear from you guys. And Tans, as always, I saw you had a stream earlier, Tans. Hope that went well at Warriors Fan TV. I'm not sure if you guys broke the news on Will Warbrick on the stream, but that would have been an exciting moment. Hosea, my man, how the Bubbas here? They're doing well. They're just having they've had a feed and they're gone to sleep. So I've got a little bit of time between the next feed. They're on a little 3-hour cycle at the moment. Getting all their their feeds in and stuff, but they're good. Thank you, bro. Appreciate that, man. So good to have you guys. And Ted, it is good to be back, man. Another year of Warriors footy, man, and grateful to have you guys here with me this evening. And I want to get, oh man, this is it's always nice to get a little surprise, isn't it? And I probably need to go find Ricchio's. Let me find the actual article. But you guys talk to me while your thoughts. Do we want to talk about Warbrick first, or do we want to talk about the game? You probably go to Warbrick first, I suppose. But let me know what you guys have in the comments while I get some of these. I'll try and get to the story and get the details of it. But crazy stuff. I know my man Strictly has the post. Okay. So Warbrick set to sign. Return home to New Zealand, where the Warriors preparing a multi-year deal to bring the Kiwi international across the ditch from the end of the season. The 28-year-old has become a key part of Melbourne's backline since switching over. Rugby Sevens, scoring 38 tries and 50 appearances for the club. Absolutely massive. Let me get into some of your guys' cordial here. Tan saying, I didn't even know it was until it was mentioned in the chat. It's all over my socials now. It's growing, isn't it? My sister had a baby boy 5 months ago. He's awesome and loves bouncing on his jolly jumper. Yeah, oh, cool. He's at that phase. That's so cool. Yeah, it's exciting. I mean, it's pretty cool. Especially with twins, they're it's it's double everything. So you got to but it's double the blessings, obviously. But so cool to see. Okay, let's do Warbrick first. Now, sounds like it's going to be a multi-year deal based on next year. Firstly, in the chat, guys, members, what's your thoughts on Warbrick? I personally really like it. I kind of watched a lot of Warbrick, 23, 24, and he had some, massive performances. Him and Coates, those massive, long, tall wingers, and just a mammoth of the man. I loved what he was, what he did with the Kiwis. I remember watching him against Australia in Christchurch, and he was snatching balls out of the air, scoring tries in the corner. Again, he's an aerial threat. He's a great finisher as well. He's strong. I think this is a massive signing. And we'll talk more about the impact. But just guys, feed into the chat um, your thoughts on him because I want to get your guys thinking on do you like it as a signing? And then we'll get to the flow on effects of who's potentially going. Maybe that's a sign for RTS is on the way out, and you know, Dallin maybe. We'll talk more about that. What happens to AKP? What happens to Mellors now? Did they drop down in the pecking order, or is that kind of those types of things? Let me just see. Yeah, strong signing. It is a strong sign, and it's a strong signing from the club. Like when a signing has an impact, like when we signed Fish, it was like, whoa, we mean business. That's kind of got not to the same level, but it's got a feeling of like, wow, we're signing quality. He's saying he's a big body, but he knows how to score a try. Yeah, that's it, isn't it? Even the guys like Coates and that they're big, but they can finish equally as good as smaller, say, wingers. And and it's not to discredit RTS or even Montoya, those types, but you need, and it's more so an acknowledgement of Dallin, but you need that elite finishing where you can jump over the line one handed because the margins are so tight, aren't they? Everything is super, super tight. So that big body will be great for yardage carries. It'll be an aerial threat. Say if he's on the left side, I'm not sure if he's left or right guy. Maybe can you actually in the chat? Can you guys just confirm to me is he more of a right sided winger or a left sided winger? But you're thinking an aerial threat again because we've been quite effective in the aerial space the last couple of years. Tahi saying head knocks a touch. Hey Tahi, how you doing, man? Good to see you, bro. Head knocks a touchy. Okay, so he's got a bit of HIA issue. Um, that will be something to monitor. Also in the chat, guys, what do you think? Do you think this is purely Warbrick looking for an opportunity to come back home, kind of in like compassionate way, should we say? Or do you think Melbourne's actually kind of shown him the door because they see a value in like a Moses Leo or someone else coming through the door that they value higher than Warbrick? Are they actually trying to get rid of Warbrick in a sense? What do you guys think? Maybe they didn't give him an offer. Is that to say that he was on the outer there, or is this more so the heartstrings are pulling him home? I'll be interested to see what you guys think about that. Yeah, bro. The wheelie bins. Look, I got a blooming. Those American can bins. I've got I've got the plastic version right here. It's nearly full. Probably about nearly 20 kilos. I got to go take it to the dump full of nappies. So it's 2 times everything. So I've got the bills, man. I got to pay $7 to go and empty this nappy bin. It's probably only been about a week and a half. Jose, what kind of impact would Webby have on him? He's pretty good to go unless he has another ceiling to break through. But Bellamy is Bellamy. Yeah, I see players like him. Smith, Melbourne Storm more so. I'd say, our shape is quite deep. We have different ways that we attack teams. So maybe adapting to that would be the difference. But again, consistency. He's probably going to come and say, how can Webby use me as a tool? So more so, not so much him adapting to Webby, but how can Webby maybe adapt to him in a way? That's another thought I've had about him. It says multi-year deal. It does, Tans. Yeah, multi-years. So multi's minimum. In my head, multi's 3. Really, when they say multi, so that could be 3 or 4. Isaiah Man Warbrick and KKP guided by Webby. That could be the new pairing, right? Mellis to stay in cup. Yeah, again, interested to see what you guys thinking progression levels. Look, Warbrick's coming. He's a 3-year, 4-year vet nearly, isn't he? He's been in the grand final. He's at Kiwis level. it maybe hints to Mellors is like, look, you're going to be in that rung below, but if you work for it, there's no doubt you could get it. Jay's saying, I don't mind the idea of having Warbrick. It doesn't feel as the meanest thing ever, but it's not bad. I think the bro just hit 28. He's a right side of wing. Okay, so that let's start talking DWZ here. Is that DWZ's on the way out this year? Now, I had that argument with Ash and others about, hey, we brought Cam Pereira. He's a 51 try guy, 52 games. He should be taking someone's spot straight away. And to Jazz's point, I think Ash made a good point that no, he's going to start in Cup. This is Will Warbrick now. Melbourne Storm, Kiwis International. Is he going to be waiting a year behind Dallin, or is this clearly like Dallin's gone 2026, end of 2026, and Warbrick's taking his place? Because technically, I think Dallin had one more year after this. So if you guys are telling me he's going to go back into Cup, I'm interested to see what you guys say. Maybe he's being brought on board as there is a chat that RTS might be moving on after the season. Well, I thought RTS had only signed to the end of 26, which makes sense to me that we should move on. And although RTS has been phenomenal, you can see how much of a professional he is. You're thinking, surely there needs to be a transition into some younger players. Could be us making plays for Kiwi Boys tons. I think we have been making plays for Kiwi Boys, which is kind of a testament to the club. We've got Aaron Clark, Fisher Harris, now Warbrick, those three Kiwi internationals, in the most recent Kiwis team. So there's something telling us that, hey, we're into where we are getting some of the higher end talent of Kiwi talent. Yeah, they are. They actually are, Jazz. They, especially these two. They've just started going crazy on the poos, and so they're just thinking out the house now. Yeah, sorry, Carl. I tried to go through YouTube live stream, because I wasn't sure with StreamYard because I'm back on the free version. I wasn't sure how much time I have on here, but either way, we're back on. Coming in system, if you don't already, totally solves all my patch issues around the house. Yeah, I need to get an upgrade on. I've just got the basic router, but it's down the other end. Yeah, I need to get a proper mesh system so that it gets a much wider reach. I'm using extenders right now, Jazz. But yeah, if I'm going to be doing more live streams and stuff, and I want the experience to be as good as it can, so yeah, I appreciate that. I reckon they're trying to give him a pathway, look after him as he's ready to be moved on for some coin. Okay. Day, yep. Roger and DW is opportunity to go home. Yep. Thank you forever. Thank you for becoming a channel member. Looking forward to hearing your thoughts. And shout out to Wills. I saw he popped up in earlier. I know he's joined. Sun Young Kim over in Chicago. And Evil Jade as well. Evil Jade, I know Evil Jade's been kind of following us for a while, but to have him as a member has been massive. So thank you guys for coming in. The Fahu White. You never know, man. You really do not know. But Warbrick is massive in a way. I think it's massive. Howarth as well, yeah. Well, maybe that's another thing. Is I think maybe the Storm have secured Howarth to stay and giving them more money probably, and maybe Warbrick's, yeah. I'm interested to see what you guys think. Thank you, man. Wise Up supporter, we appreciate you guys being supporters. We got our faithful, we got our legends. We appreciate all you guys jumping on and supporting Wise Up TV, supporting Ash and Josh, who are doing an amazing job. Yeah, so I thought DWZ was signed for next season. Yeah, it's a mutual option. Now, forever was what the mutual option. I think is the club has to agree, right, and they have to agree to take that season on. Maybe I think this might be the end of DWZ. Team Mackie, good to see you, my friend. Yeah, man, we just signed Warburg. I just saw about an hour ago. So interested to hear your thoughts, Mackie, on this one. Yeah. Warwick, yeah, and that's okay. So it is a bit of a sour taste from past, but if we flip it on the other side and Warbrick's on our team, I'm sure it could be a very interesting proposition. I've heard names like Willison and Talty from Broncos to swap with Barney. What do you think of those names? There are other names. Well, I mentioned that in our chat, Jose, about Willison. I was thinking if you get Willison and Arthurs, because Arthurs could give you that backline cover. I've talked a little bit about Leatoa and maybe he's not quite ready. Arthurs would give you immediate, cover and setup. But I'm interested by others too. But I agree. A player, I like actually what the club is trying to do. I think a player swap, if you'd want a player swap now for this year, I would take, honestly, I would take Willison for a year. I know that seems kind of short-minded, but look, if we're going to lose Barney, we kind of want to maintain levels, and for just the mere thought of it, would love to see what Willison would look like in our system to plant a seed for the future. So, that's my thinking about it anyway. Yeah, forever we talked about the mutual option, so it'd be interesting. Could be. It could be, and that's kind of a difference, isn't it? A kind of a change, wouldn't it be, to see that back line? Leatoa, yeah, could be questionable if he cleans his stuff up. He could be, but you know, hey, thank you, Team Mickey. Appreciate it, my man. Jazz loves Willison. He'd absolutely take him. I would. Now, Takuta, I don't know much about, but I have seen the size. Takuta would be a good one too. Because say you lose Barney and you're going to have injuries, you can push up a TSS into the front row to start with Fish. We really have. Passport, my man, thank you very much. Congratulations again on your Seahawks and the Super Bowl. My man Passport is on a massive high this year. He's doing so well in life. That's good to see. And TJ17. TJ, thank you very much for joining us. So great to have you. Tafa would have been Oblix Tafa, absolutely. I think he would have been a massive option as well. Good evening, sir. Good evening, sir. Good to see you. Jay saying, I'm surprised the news about Warbrick has leaked before being made official. That's a good point. Yeah, Webby and Cam George will be trying to hunt down. You know what's funny though, then, Jazz? There are actually quite a few leaks out there, like early, like the word of mouth gets around that club because I mean, there's other guys that break news to me. Even Ash has broken news to me before the announcement. But I had a guy message me on Instagram telling me about a month ago, hinting at Barney leaving. He goes, one of the forwards, one of our premier forwards, is of the mindset of leaving the club. Hint, hint. Barney. So there's a bit of there's a lot of Chinese whispers going around that joint. But usually, you know, yeah, not to that extent where you break, Riccio breaking Warbrick that cleanly. Yeah, Takuda is and like he's a massive human, isn't he? He's 6'7". And I think us as fans would love to just see I think that was the intrigue about Nas. Even though Nas, I think we obviously is on the kind of downward trajectory. I think us as fans wanted to see a different body type, right? And we love our Jackson forwards. I mean, we know like Webby loves the smaller, more mobile forward. But us as fans would love to have seen the 20-minute impact guy who's just a mammoth, and to see how that would look in our system. That's where the Takuda and the Nas type bodies would have been interesting. Willison would probably be more of a shout to Webby, to be honest, because that probably suits the club's style and Willison's motor. If I watched Willison over that finals period, and he was awesome, and his work in the Kiwis was just as solid as well. So, and I know he'll do well under Fish and Aaron Clark and all those boys. So, but Takuda would be a nice one too, and more of a development forward, wouldn't it be? I mean, thought process behind the room is, why would we trade a rep level player for a development and reserve grade player? Seems like a rip off to me. That's true. That is true. And um, that's a good argument there, Forever. That's actually a good argument. I mean, I'm so used to taking sloppy seconds that you just take them, because you have the Warriors, and you have to be grateful that other NRL teams will provide you something. But I stand with you. If I was to be honest, I would do the exact same. Yeah, shout out to Passport Man and TJ. Appreciate it, man. We do really do. And chuck in your comments, please. Let me get to what you guys are thinking. I wonder if Cam linked it himself. It is now in the 10-day cooling period. Oh, that's a nice little angle there, T Mackie. That's what I was talking about, Mackie, before. The Storm will make an attempt to keep Warbrick. I was arguing, are they actually saying to them, to Warbrick, actually, we don't see you in our future? Because that was a crazy trade. That was kept super clean. That's a good question. Does he work? And again, for me, it was just thinking about something different. But agreeing with what you guys are saying, Will's good to see you. Good to see you. If they're not going to work, it's not going to work. You know what I mean? But from a fantasy kind of theoretical looking at something like that would be interesting. Yeah, going on Leotoa needs to work on his defense. He got beaten on the outside several times during that game. Otherwise, he'll cost us games. Yeah, and you couldn't blame Dallin, because people don't jam in, don't jam. Well, I'm not jamming in. Well, that's what happens sometimes. So that's the other side of Dallin not jamming in, is you see that with a weak defensive center, that can happen. Very nice, man. It's your year, mate. I'm gonna ride your luck. Hopefully your luck, mate. Passport. Good to see you, bro. Watching later about the game, he had zero confidence in his defense. Massive course. Yeah, you saw there was the second try. He had his hands in his head, lying on the ground. That's the one where you don't want to see that as a Warriors fan because our confidence levels historically with a lot of our boys, if they get to that level and it just drops, it can be a complete plummet. I've said on my video I wanted to see him have another crack to give him a chance to rebuild. Now that's all dependent on the person. There's guys like was it like Michael Jordan, he'll shoot his shot, he'll shoot 40 shots, doesn't care if he misses Kobe Bryant. They'll just keep attacking. Some guy, if they miss three or four, five shots in a row, they'll get into a bad slump. So my question was, can Leotoa, if given the opportunity against the Raiders, could he find himself actually picking himself up? And that's it. He has to build his own confidence. Love to see Adequa, Jeremiah Watts, Luke. Is that one of those Key and Peele skits? Are you playing me right now, Inspector? Is that his actual name? Oh my god! You know the skit where they do the bit about the NFL names? Adequa, Adequi, Jeremiah Watts, Luke from the Finns to come to the Wild, so Levon and Ash have to say it. Yeah. Adequi, Adequi. I know the X is silent because it's French, isn't it? Adequi. That's crazy. It's crazy, man. I know. I should have paused in there. That is crazy work right there. Um, you've been at music practice, Dom. You've been on the. You got any gigs coming up? Put in the chat if you got a gig coming up, man. Would love to hear some of your music. Um, I'm happy with our young forwards coming through to fill the void. Barney will leave. Another depth signing would be a good idea, though. It could be. I agree with your initial thought, though. Like, mate, we want to get a like for like. Barney's a $1 million player, and you're just going to give us, some reserve players. The other thing is that when you do trade a valuable piece, even in the NBA, what you get back is not like for like, isn't it? So, in a natural sense, the player power is so strong these days that you know that's part of the issue, isn't it? Hello, sir. Good to see you, my man. Good to see all of you guys. And 51 in here watching on the few watching on the outside as well. Great to have you guys in here. Quickly, just before I forget, guys, I'm going to chuck in the Super Coach link. So we are doing more of a open, unlimited Super Coach this year. So I'm welcoming everyone to join our league. I think we got about 7 people in there. Let me just get a copy of that link. If you guys are interested in joining, please jump in the Super Coach. Love to fill that out a bit more. There it is. I'll just yep. Wow. Um, yeah, that was at Ali's defense, and it was quite evident. And did in my video. I talked a little bit about what I think it might have been doing. I think it's more coaching, but also some of that stuff is confidence. Like a lot of it's confidence and being able to know what to do. Defense is like half of defense is commitment. It's technique one part, and one part is like wanting to tackle. When I played footy when I was a little kid, I wasn't a tackler. I just wanted to attack and do all these crazy stuff. So those are some of the things. It's commitment to defensive game, and that's where Rocco Berry comes in. If he's fit, he's one that's he will absolutely destroy. KP, yeah, KP would be a great one. because KP is actually more of a 5/8, more of a he's more of a half fullback, should we say? Whereas if you look at Chance is more of pure a running fullback, yardage fullback. KP is involved in every set, in every out the back shape, making decisions. So it would change our offense completely. It would take a lot of the pressure off of, like, say, Metcalf and CHT. It would actually just create another dynamic, which I think would be absolutely awesome. Have to change his whole name up. He comes and moves CHT to left center, Pompey to right. Dom. It's an option. I've been big on, like, not moving guys around. Like, I know a lot of people were saying to me even, like, move Liquor to right center. I was like, oh, I just don't want to see anyone being moved out and they're doing so well. Or move Capewell. There's like keep Capewell where he is right now. And everything else. You know what I mean? But it could happen, Dom. It could happen. Yeah, man. Look. Oh, is that Bully's son? Adequi. Let me go. Jeremiah Watts Luke. Okay. Oh, okay, Luke. I'll just call him Luke Bully Jr. Huh? Yep. Great. Yeah, agree, Jazz. That's a great point. Barney's a beast, but I can't see the Broncos giving up Willison considering they're also losing Hakeem. Sorry, I can't get past that name. I just keep thinking Hakeem Olajuwon. I was like, what? He's going into rugby league? Nah, man. Come on, man. You'll be all good. You'll be all good. And absolutely, yeah, guys. Get into the Discord, please. Now, the Discord is integration through your guys' email that you use for your YouTube membership. Come in. We're starting to build it up. I closed it off. Obviously, you guys knew I closed everything off because I wanted to reset everything over the holidays. But yeah, Discord is back up and running. And keen to have more chat in there as well. Absolutely. Yep. He's a slow reactor. Does that make sense? KP is going to be a good pickup for Kiwis. Yeah, that's going to be exciting, man. I can't wait for the end of the year. Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point, Mackie. That's a good point. Again, we're talking about, defense again, and I've always said, we need strike centers, and I love the attacking side of centers. They can draw on the wing and do a flick, Gidley pass. But actually, if you think about it, at its core, why is Pompey always in the team? Because he can defend. Why is Rocco Berry in the team when he comes back fit? They can defend. You got to have some bare minimums as a center. If you have both, if you have the center and you have the offload and all those, well, then you're on a trajectory that is exciting. But for bare minimum center work, why do guys like Kate Walker have to go out there? Because you got to be able to defend. You got to be able to defend. We do need more of it, and that's what I'm saying. But the Bears center you can absolutely build off that. It's saying, I watched the interview with PJ Marsh this afternoon. He was talking about his son signing with the Warriors. I think he's 19. It was nice to see former Warriors son playing for their father's club. Yeah, it is good. And I think there will always be um, a part of, the connection to the club. Just having former players. I mean, every club has it in a sense, don't they? They'll try their best to get their sons into former clubs. I like it, and especially if they're good quality, absolutely take that. Tons. The Discord link is in It is when you sign up through your YouTube, when you go to your Discord, you go and look in your integration, and it should have Wires Up TV there. Then you press that link, and it should connect you through that way. Whenever I hear Hasnim, I think of Akeem the African Jew. Yeah, that one, the Akeem. Yeah. Now, guys, I do have fantasy as well. Let me just see. Let me get the fantasy. And we've only just started in week 2, so you guys are still able to come in. Let me just get that link up for you for anyone that wants to play the fantasy. And a fantasy league as of round 2. You're more than welcome to jump in. That is the code. I've just sent the code. That is the code for the fantasy, guys. So if you want to do a fantasy, please do that. The Game Hunter Hakeem. I know Morgan Gannon is second row, and I know he also helped out in centers in UK. Does anyone know if he has fast with ball? Yeah, it's a good question. Gannon, as we've seen, was on the Gannon was on the extended bench, didn't get any game time. I'm interested. I don't really know his center work. I know that he mainly played in the back row and maybe in the halves. He was like a makeshift half. That's a great question, Passport. I'm not sure exactly. But yeah. Anyway, Warbrick, massive news, exciting. Keen to hear your guys' thoughts on the game. And there we go. Oh, there's the Friday's game. How do we go against the game? We'll get to that. Any comments on the Roosters game? What did you guys think? I know a lot of you guys commented on the video, and I had a chance to have a chat with you, so I know all your thoughts. But if there's anything that you took away from the Roosters game that you wanted to talk about, please do so. Otherwise, we'll move on to the Green Machine. And I saw they won in a Golden Point thriller. Green Machine is always difficult, physical. You know how they like to match up with us. That then again, it's a game that's kind of they like to play that physical, and we like to play that physical way as well. So I'm kind of excited to see what happens there. Yeah, strong intent, tenacity, and grit, and the way that Ricky's got them playing, he's always got them up. He'll have them physical. That they will be tough. And the South Side saying here, absolutely. Thought our right edge held up better than I expected, considering it has Boyd, Ali, Dallin next to each other. Yeah, and look, and actually, to be honest, as much as it held up in many ways, it shouldn't be. What am I trying to say? Like, we should still be cautious that it could get opened up at any time. But I thought, to be honest, the Roosters had 15 line breaks. I think someone made a mention of that to me in one of the somewhere, and I was thinking, actually, that's a lot. So it's not as though our defense is foolproof right now. Like, I think Webby even is trying to think, okay, there's a few gaps in the middle of the park. There's a few gaps out wide. Other teams, I thought the Roosters were maybe just their attack didn't seem to be flowing yet with DC and Sam Walker. So, look, a better prepared team with better structure will put them in the middle. We absolutely overwhelmed them there in the middle. Yeah, and I agree with you, T-Mac. Yeah, it feels like White's the only one carrying it at the moment. Lindsay Collins is a kind of stock standard, wasn't he? His impact is looking a little bit off at the moment. I thought the back rowers would give them a bit more, but Crichton not right now, eh? So I think they're going to be one of those teams going to probably peak again towards the end of the season. They got a bit of work to do, really. Yeah, that is a concern about Ali. I know the Raiders do attack through their centres. That's probably one of their strong points. Tim Walker, he gets frequent ball. I'm not sure, is it Sasangi over there on the other side or Hopewadi? I'm not sure who they got right now. They love to attack through the centres, so he's going to get traffic. He'll get a lot of traffic, but they got to clean up. He's got to clean up. That's the thing about extended bench. You could end up with players not getting game time for a while in first grade, and when they could be getting match fit in New South Wales Cup, yeah, I find that very difficult. I totally agree with you. I was like, I wish, and I'm not sure how the games are stacked, but you're like, okay, if they get on the extended bench, they don't get any game time. Can they go to New South Wales Cup the next day? But then again, sometimes these New South Wales Cup games are before. So there is a concern for me that these guys might not be fit and their skill set might drop off if you don't rotate them. And I'm wondering maybe if Webby has a plan to rotate them as extended bench players. So, for example, what's to say Tane might not be on the extended bench this week and he goes into Cup to keep himself fresh, and maybe they bring in another guy just to sit there. You know, it's like one of those situations where it's like you can't have Tane just sitting there for 10 straight rounds not doing anything. I agree the extended bench may rotate. It's an interesting one. Jackson Ford was awesome, wasn't he? Dude was jogging off, stopped, began jogging back again. Yeah. He's awesome, man. Yeah, I was thinking that. And I was thinking, remember, Ali had a massive game against Croker? And you know, in a sense, Croker was old at that time. But now Ali's up against some younger pups. I mean, I think Ali's capable, but you got to put your head in there and make those difficult tackles. You know, you got to be aggressive in defense too. I noticed when he was going for the, Billy. And a lot of that is baiting the player, isn't it? You're baiting him when you're stretching out, and then you release your arm, and then he kind of puts him. But you just saw like Ali was always in a kind of a negative position. He wasn't engaging Billy, and when he tried to engage, Billy had already created the space and got past him. So it's like that's deeper level of center play where you got to know the cues to when to go in and when And I think he got all of them wrong. Nearly every example he pretty much got wrong. So there's stuff he needs to work on massively. Mate, have that jersey on, please. But yeah, they're very physical. Yeah. But even whoever the center is, I didn't get the chance to watch the Raiders, but whoever the centers are, if they're physical, that's where Ali needs to really, because he doesn't. The thing with Ali is he's not super fast on his feet. You look at Rocco, and even Pompey's very good at way of using his size and space. I think Pompey's just very and smart. He knows when to move and what to. But Rocco, if you look at his feet, are always moving. He's always in that kind of negative position, and then he'll shoot for the tackle. And I just get the feeling sometimes Ali's just sort of sitting. He's setting his feet a lot of the time, and his recovery time isn't the greatest. You know what I mean? So I would have him more on his toes, and like I said, I think he needs an actual center coach to really get into the detail of center work. If you got to bring in Gasnier or whoever you need to do, bring him in, man, for a few sessions to help him out. You know. Well, I noticed times with Fish is he go in the tackle and just hit and bump and release, but it was a great way of generating second phase, And I think and you guys can attest to this as well. Big part of our issues have been no one's ever in support. No one's ever in support. We go for a hit up, guys are reloading to get ready for that next hit up. the next play. What I noticed, guys are sitting a bit more on their toes around the ruck, ready for a second phase play. And I think that's great. It's great to have structure where okay, that guy's going to do a head up. Yep, I'm going to go reset for the next one. It's also nice to play eyes up footy. And if you think about with the Kiwis, what they did, they go into head ups with Nafahu White and Joseph Tapine, and they knew that they could get their arms free. So what are they doing? You got Tapine goes in, he's ready to offload. And what's Dylan Brown? Dylan Brown's sitting right there ready to go because he knows that defensive line's already retreated, setting up for the next tackle. Ball's free. He gets the ball. He can attack the space. So that's where I want the halves and the fullbacks to be a bit more on. If the offload's there from Aaron, be ready to go because that defensive line's already setting up for the next tackle. So then there's 5 or 6 meters right there. You can fill that space. And if you've got the footwork and if you've got everyone on jumping on their toes, you can create a second phase try. So that was nice to see a bit more of that type of structure. I say Chris plays left. Okay, so Chris and Chris is handful. Chris is an absolute handful. Absolute handful. So he's gonna have a big night. He's gonna have a big night, Ali. But I'm of the mindset, like some people have been messaging me on Instagram saying, "Get him out, man. Get him back." It's like a kid. It's like for me, it's like you're telling a kid that's learning how to walk. He falls down once. Oh no, you gotta hold him. You gotta carry him everywhere. I want to just give him a run of games, especially early in the season where it's like, hey, we were still finding our feet. Every team's finding their feet. Give him 5 games, and if he gets worse each time, then sure, call it quits. But I'm of the mindset like let him try and correct his ways, and let's see how he responds to adversity. If his confidence is so low, well, let's see what he does. Is he going to be the one to say, like I remember Manu when he against Parramatta and he dropped those 5 balls. Did Manu quit? Did Ivan not trust in him? Ivan could have pulled him and said, "No, you go back to Cup for a couple of years." He said, "No." So we're gonna, and that's where he needs to be given that opportunity. Paddy for the Raiders was dropped to Cup. Ricky wants him getting game time instead of on the bench. Those are some of the questions that need to be yeah. One thing I noticed from Friday night's game is the attack seemed to be better organized, and I liked how Boyd took the line on a lot more. Yeah, man, took the line on a lot more. And for me, a halfback, I look at Nathan Cleary. He just puts his body on the line, right deep in that line. He just puts it out there, man. And that's how you create the overloads. That's how you create an actual outnumber teams out the back. You got to go right on that line, and that will provide. Yeah, they absolutely are, my man. They are highlights of the season. So the aggressiveness, I love that. You want a physical game. You want to test ourselves. Yeah, man. I think Fish that was one of Fish's really good games. Yeah, Egan and Healy were always waiting for the offload from. Yeah, they were, man. You can see AKP feeding off the offload breaks. Well, that would be fantastic. That too. Going at the line, there's so much when you go deep into the line. You look at guys like Foz in his career. He went right to the very last second, right? You got to take the hits. It just opens up. It gets that defense that they start to tell. The defense tells you what they're going to do if you go right deep, and then you can play that. And I thought Sean did a mean. If you guys haven't seen Sean's play on video on what's it called? His play on. He did a video of the video that I did actually of Tanner Boyd, and he even did it greater than I because he's the man. But he was saying that Tanner saw it, and he did that late swing But to use the speed and to identify and go for that space, and he nailed it, absolutely nailed it. So I want to see them doing more of that. Hosea, AKP is one to really watch out for, yeah, and I'd be interested to see how he goes. I'm surprised at how connected Tanner and CHT were with their set plays. Passing shows how little preseason games matter. Yeah, and maybe that flow-on effect of what they had last year. I did a video saying, mate, CHT needs to step up. And I thought he was great with his energy. I thought he was great with trusting in himself. You know what I mean? So those are some of the awesome things I thought was really cool. Jeremy, man, thank you very much for coming through, man. We appreciate you here. Yeah, that would be nice. I think that will come to effect. Passport. It absolutely will. Good to see you. Actually, as I seen you updated your video, your icon there. You got the black Seahawks, man. Nice, nice, man. Looks nice on you, bro. The way Boyd ran through that gap to score reminded me of the players like Glant. Yeah, they would. They would. Bro, Inspector, you bang on. Jeremy, nailed it, man. And welcome in. Great to hear your feedback. Yep. Couldn't get a run after injury, and then now you see why. And I think a lot of us maybe got caught in the hype of him scoring those amazing tries off the back ship. And his attacking prowess is great, close to the line. But yeah, you want to see the development of him more. You know what I mean? Yeah, CHT's tries, they were just him chasing his own. But hustling, hustling, those are types of things you want to see. Bang on, Jazz. When Cakewell went through, it was, oh. And those are the types of lines that, we've been wanting to see as fans selling and committing to all those things, But yeah, guys, we're going to wrap up in about 8 minutes. Any more questions, guys? Oh, even any thoughts? I kind of shared a lot of what I've thought in my videos and stuff, but keen to answer any of you guys' questions. Special big shout out to all of our new members tonight. Raiders v Wires means Big Red v Labor, mate. That's going to be I love that both teams really embrace the physical side of the game, and pardon me. And I think that that's really cool. And we'd love to see a big with 2 4 packs really aim up top and it goes hard. And I think him and Fish love that. They want to battle it out. Physically. So those are things where I'm like, yep. Is there a world where Boyd and Luke play in 6 and 7 together? I don't think Webby has it quite that way mapped out. Like for me, CHT is a clear 6 in the sense that you're supporting the 7 and what they're setting up, and you're so. Yeah, Boyd for me isn't a running enough 6 to be able to, like, for me, a 6, you need to have more of a running game. And like, we're excited that Boyd started running the ball, but he looks like more of an organizer, really, in many senses. You probably think Metcalf, so meaning organizing the game. Webby's all those said that he thinks doesn't matter 6 or 7. They want halves. He want to create halves. So he's looking at people that can play any of the positions. So it's not to say it couldn't happen, but I think Metcalf, in all of his dialogue, I've heard him, when he signed his extension, is like, I want to be the 7 for this club. That means he wants to direct the team around. He works well with CHT. And you saw that there was no temptation from Webby to go with Boyd and Metcalf all of last year when Boyd was healthy as well. But I'm sure if injuries came upon us, we got without Tamaide. I think he'd probably go Boyd and Metcalf before he went Boyd and Hansen, so to say. You know what I mean? That's my thoughts anyway. That was awesome. Yeah, and all those little moments, the fish intercept was awesome. He can handle a dogfight. I'm pretty sure of it. Both CHGs came from great work from RTS to pass along the ground for RTS to pick up. Yeah, RTS was massive. It was absolutely massive, Ted. And he thinks 6 and 7 can change. Yeah, he can. He can. He thinks that's interchangeable. That is a good thought process there. Okay. Are you sold on DWZ staying? I still think we are way off defensively on the edge, but I also think we have anything did defensively better. I'm not sure if you heard, Jeremy, but the club are about to sign Warburg on a multi-year deal. So we've been discussing that. So if that's going to be true, and I had a chat with Warriors Forever, and he was saying that it's a mutual option for next year between DWZ and the Warriors, which would mean if the club choose not to take up that option, then he doesn't have that mutual option next year. So maybe Warbrick comes in and takes that spot, which I think is the move forward if that is the case. Where we think 7 and 6 players can be interchangeable. Yeah, I think that's the case. Okay, guys, we're going to start to wrap this thing up. And there's going to be a lot more quarter to Ash will be with you guys tomorrow night. So when that team list drops, jump in with Ash and Josh. You'll have amazing content and thoughts about the game on Friday, the past game against the Roosters. They'll have thoughts on this game's Friday's game. They'll have thoughts about all the development that they've watched. No doubt, Ash. Ash is a nutcase. Ash watches everything. So he's probably watched all of the development guys. Every single thing. And my man King Hill as well, who's just become a member. He's holding it down just as much as well. He's watching everything. They're both breaking down every level. And so it's great to hear them going at it in all details for everyone to hear. And I know you guys are loving it because the numbers are saying that, and the people that are watching it. So, and I'm grateful for them. Good to hear the angelic tones, man. I don't know about that, bro, Jose, but I appreciate you, my man. I appreciate you. I'll try my best. I'll try my best where I can. It's all good, man. I reset everything from last year, Josh. So that's probably why. And Harry Inch, wow. Make sure you you share the gospel with him, and he he's hearing the good message, the good of Wise Up TV. But no, that'd be interesting. Be good to make sure you take care of him. Fellowship with one of the brothers in the fold. That's cool, man. No, I'm mate, Jeremy. I started late. I was actually supposed to start at 8, so it's my fault, really. But the things how they are, I'm actually got to jump on daddy duties right now, actually. So, but it's good to have everyone. Yeah, he shouldn't technically need one, my man King Hill, but he's so kind, the kindness of his heart. But yeah, he's on the staff, and he shouldn't have to. But I appreciate him. Ash has a bank of screens on his wall that follows each He does, bro. This guy is nuts. When I met with Ash last year, and his wife was telling me, this guy just watches everything, and he really does. So he watches all the development. He watches every NRL game. If you know him on Supercoach, he's an absolute nutcase. He's in the top 100 in the world. So Ash is, if you want to know something, Ash is the guy to ask. But yeah, good to see you, Carl. Good to see you, my man. Ash, yep, appreciate it, Carl, man. Yeah, got to ask him. What is he? 9, 6, 7, or 14? Could be a 6. Nah, man, you're good. You're good, Josh. Yeah, and just exciting. He's an exciting prospect, isn't he? Anyway, guys, thank you again for everyone coming through. I wasn't sure what I was gonna be able to do, but with with the twins, but things are settling down here, and my wife's been a big encouragement, saying, "Hey, get back on the tools. People want to hear what you say." And I've just been so like happy with what Ash and Josh have been doing. I've just been, I'll just chill back. But it's been cool just to get back slowly doing stuff. So I'm especially grateful for all the members and my commitment to our commitment to the members, making sure you guys get everything, because I love hearing your guys' thoughts. And you know me, I only know my view, and when I get into these chats, it's like everyone else has all this more information that I didn't know about. So this is just about much as me getting info from you guys, but also just sharing our love and passion for the Wilds, but also doing getting info and understanding what we want to do, and getting what the thoughts are. So I'll try my best to do this as much as I can. I can't promise every week, guys, but I'm going to try as much as I can. Keep an ear out. I'll post it up that we'll be trying to do these live streams for our members as much as we can. And again, don't forget what Ash and Josh are doing on Tuesday nights, and videos popping up where I can. But appreciate you guys. And again, thank you, Inspector Josh, T-Max. Great to have you guys. Thank you. And yep, I'll be doing my best to get on what I can. But it's great to just get on the tools and have a chat with you guys. But don't forget, tomorrow night, 8 p.m., I think Ash and Josh will be back on. But as for me, guys, have a great evening. I will talk more throughout the week. Watch the community posts. I'll be sharing some stuff there. And again, guys, and Josh, I'm not sure if you joined up in the link. Let me just copy that link one more time. This here is the fantasy. I've made it an open league so that we just have more people in. And here is the Supercoach league. So that one is fantasy. I've just put that one there if you want to join. And that one is Supercoach right there. Jump in. And the other one is Discord. Link up your Discord through your YouTube integration. I won't be providing any links for the Discord because I'd rather you come through your YouTube integration so everything's legit, because then that means you get different perks as well within Discord. So do that as well, guys. But I'll keep in touch. Check the community posts. Ash will do the show tomorrow, and I'll do my own little video once I get some thoughts together. Or, I'll make something up. You know me, I just trying to think of an angle, storyline, for Friday's game. But yeah, okay, Norfolk and Chance. Okay, I'll see you there on the Team Mickey. Have a great night, guys. I'm off to do some feeds. Peace. Stay safe.